next one we'll be looking at is the cell itself. So we go back to cell and we look at the quantity that are found in the cell. So now let's look at it, talking about the cell. So cell is actually, I told you, another word that we can call cell. Imagine this is a cell, though this is not a cell, but imagine this is a cell. The whole body of cell is called protoplasm. Now, every other quantity in the cell, apart from a particular house, is called cytoplasm. That particular house is known as nucleus. So it means that cell is divided into two. We have the cytoplasm, we have the nucleus. The cytoplasm is the one that surrounds the nucleus. The nucleus, we are going to look at it, and we're going to look at cytoplasm. So it means that, in a summary, it means that protoplasm is equal to cytoplasm plus nucleus. I hope you can see it. Protoplasm is equal to cytoplasm plus what? Nucleus. So it means that the protoplasm contains both cytoplasm and the nucleus. Now, let's look at it. So, after this, we'll be looking at cell organelles. Cell organelles, they are the materials or the living content that are found in the cell. It means that we are going to be talking about both the cytoplasm and both the nucleus. Now, let's first look at it this way. Let's take it one after the other. As you all know, all living things are divided into two, generally in terms of major. We have the plants and we have the animal. So for the plant cell, to draw the plant cell is very simple. There are many emphasis on how to draw the plant cell. It is very simple. Okay, let me quickly teach you that on how to draw the plant cell. I will try my best to know some important diagram. When you see something like this, it means mitochondria. When you see something like this, it means chloroplast. I'm giving you hints. When you see something like this, it means endoplasmic reticulum. When you see something like this, it means nucleolus. When you see something like this, it means ribosome. Now, let me stop here. So, I'll use it to explain. So, let me draw a cell diagram for you. As a beginner, let me just give you a very simple cell diagram. A very simple one. You see how I draw it? I curve this edge, I curve this edge, I curve this edge, I curve this edge. So for plant has a large central vacuum. So you draw this, you draw a little house. You draw this thing like 7, you draw a little house. This one, you write it, it means large vacuole. And this large vacuum. This is how to draw plant cell. For this one, it means the nucleus. So before that, actually this is the nucleus. So let's first put all this into it. We have the dot, 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 dot. I told you that the dot, dot, dots represent ribosome. So this one, it always surrounds the cell. For this one, we have this. So that's the mitochondria. If I'm to name it, I will say mitochondria. Mitochondria. So plural, mitochondria. For this one, I can draw this. I'll call it chloroplast. So Now this one, that is endoplasmic reticulum. Now the outer portion of the nucleus is what we call nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. This is called nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. I'll be talking about kingdom soon. Under kingdom, organisms that have this nuclear membrane, that is this thing that protects, like don't forget what I told you, all this, they are the cytoplasm. This is the nucleus. So the nucleus plus the cytoplasm gives the whole cell. Is it clear to you now? It means all these mitochondria, this thing outside the nucleus, they are cytoplasm. So nucleus is not the cytoplasm. Whereas cytoplasm plus the nucleus will give you the whole cell. So what differentiated the nucleus from mixing with the cytoplasm is the nuclear membrane. Organisms that have this nuclear membrane, we call it eukaryotic. Eukaryotic are organisms with definite nuclear membrane. So why prokaryotic are organisms without no definite nuclear membrane. So this is the portion surrounding the nucleus. The portion surrounding the nucleus is known as the nuclear membrane. So now let's look at inside the nucleus. When you enter inside the nucleus, you see something like this. It is called the nucleolus. We'll be looking at the function of everything soon. Now inside it again, there is something like this. We call it chromosome. And what is the function of the chromosome? The function of the chromosome is that it contains DNA. In the part 1 of this video, you see that DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. What does it do? We are going to look at the function here. Now, this is the real hint on how to draw a plant cell. Note this, that this represents mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleolus, ribosome. So I gather everything together to have this. So now let's do this. And however, so though this is well acceptable, you can actually want to show maybe how good you are in drawing by drawing something like this. You can see I'm drawing an hexagon. So this one is just a design. I've seen this very well from many textbooks. Okay, let's not forget, plant cell, this particular area that the false protection that covers the cytoplasm, please note, the false protection that covers the cytoplasm is called the cell membrane, the cell membrane of the cell envelope. Why the last one that covers it, let me draw another one that covers it, that is called the cell wall. So you have to know that the plant cell has cell wall, animal cell does not have cell wall, but they both have cell membrane. I'm saying this because there is a particular question in the WAEC past question that they did this mistake. I think the mistake is not from the WAEC, it is from the past questions solver. So they did the mistake. All cell contains cell membrane, but not all cell contains cell wall. Why? Only plant cell has a cell wall, while animal cell does not have a cell wall. So let's go back to this. So if I'm to draw this finally, let me just put something here. So I'm going to draw almost the same thing here. Yes, let's not forget. When the endoplasmic reticulum, that is this one, is not attached to ribosome, it is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. But the moment this ribosome is attached to it, we call it rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is when ribosome is attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth is when ribosome is not attached to. So if I do this, it means it's a rough endoplasmic reticulum. As you can see, this represents vacuole. So it represents vacuole. This vacuole is very large in plant, but in animal cell, in plant cell, it is very large and it is just one. While in animal cell, it is very small and it may be numerous. As a matter of fact, some textbooks will tell you that it is not even present in animal cell at all. Why? Because it's very small in animal cell. But in plant cell, it is very many. So we have the chloroplast, we have the cell membrane, we have the cell wall. What we can see what I did, rough endoplasmic reticulum, the vacuole, the chloroplast, the cell membrane, the cell wall. So I can draw, this is ribosome. I can draw this, don't forget this is for mitochondria. So I hope we can see that. So right from here, we have seen that this is how to draw the plant cell. Now from here, let's look at each cell organelles that are found in plants and what is their function. So feel free to pause this if you want to draw it. Like, share, and subscribe, please. Then we move on to the cell organelles that are found in plants. Now, there are some that are found in both plant and animal. We call it what are the similarities that are found in both plant and animal. That is, what are the cell organelles that are common to both of them. Number one, they both have nucleus. Number two, they both have nucleolus. Number three, they both have mitochondria. I'm going to explain the function of everything. Number four, they both have Golgi body apparatus. Golgi body apparatus. They both have endoplasmic reticulum. They both have cell membrane. What other one? They both have ribosome. etc. But I'm very sure these are the most ones that are very similar in both cases. So now let's look at the cell organelles that are found in plants. We have nucleus, like I told you. All I just have to do is to first replace all this. Nucleus, they have nucleolus. They have three, they have mitochondria. It's present in the plant cell. Number four, they have Golgi body. It's also present in the plant cell. I will explain the function of everything to you guys. Golgi body apparatus. Number five, we have endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Number six, we have cell membrane. Number seven, we have ribosome. Now, what I always do is whenever I'm asked to write what are the plant cells, that is what are the cell organelles that are found in the cell, or if I'm asked for the animal, I'll first write the one that is common to them. Then I'll not be writing what makes them differ. What makes plants to be different is that it has chloroplast. That's number one. Chloroplast. Another one that makes it differ is that it has large vacuole. Large vacuoli. And another thing, number 10, another thing that also makes it to be different is that we start, yeah, we have the large vacuole, we have the chloroplast, we have the ribosome, cell wall, yes, it has cell wall. Animal cell does not have cell wall. So this is the similarities between them. So now it means this is the plant cell, this is the nucleolus, this is the mitochondria, this is the Golgi body apparatus, this is the endoplasmic reticulum, this is the cell membrane, they have ribosome, they have chloroplast, they have large vacuole, they have this. Okay, let me use this for animal cells so that you can see the comparison between them. So animal cell, you know these similarities, so they both have this, so I don't have to claim it. So I'll just continue. Number 8, what makes animal cell to be different? Number 1, animal cell has lysosome. Plant cell does not have lysosome. Please, for those of you that have essential biology, essential did mistake here. They wrote lysosome under the similarities. Please, you can Google search it. Plant cell does not have lysosome. Plant cell does not have lysosome. And as a matter of fact, they don't even have central line. They don't have central line. So that is centros. They don't have centros, they don't have centrosome. So another thing that they don't have as well is that they don't have as plant cell. Yes, we also have okay, that is yes, we have ribosome, this and okay. I can remember as well presence of chromosome. Chromosome, yes, they both have chromosome. That's one of the similarities too. Now, I want to explain this. So these 10 things, okay? These are the cell organisms that are found in plants. These are the ones that are found in animals. So I hope you guys understand. Um, I'm actually tired. That's just but it is my joy doing this for you guys. It is my joy. So it is my joy actually. And I want you guys to know that there is nothing you can't know. I just want you to believe that you can know it. You see, you may not feel like reading every time, but my advice is you have to fall in love with book before you can know how to read. Exactly. Because there are many things you can do that will make you to fall in love with book. So I'll be talking about that one the time anyway. But however, above all, don't forget God. God is very important. So any equation out of God is not actually valuable. So coming into plant cell, we have the nucleus, we have the nucleus, we have the mitochondria, we have the Golgi body apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, cell membrane, ribosome, chloroplast, large vacuoles, and so on. Now, plant cell as an example, they have nucleus. What is the function of nucleus? The function of nucleus is very simple. I'll be saying it, but I won't write it down. Nucleus controls the entire activities of the cell. So if you want to jot it down, please do. The function of the nucleus is that it controls all the activities. It's the brain of the cell. It controls everything that happens in the cell. Number one, nucleus controls all the activities of the cell. Another thing about the nucleus is that, don't forget I told you, inside the nucleus, we have the nucleolus and we have the chromosome. And what happens to the chromosome? The chromosome contains DNA. And what does the DNA do? The DNA stores genetic material. The DNA does what? It stores the genetic material. So it simply means that the DNA is the one that owns the genetic material. That's the reason why you see that the DNA is also used in determining the paternity. That is, if they want to know whether a particular girl or a particular boy belongs to a particular father, all they just have to do is to do a DNA test. And once the DNA test is being conducted and it matches with the father, it means that the father owns the child. So the DNA contains the genetic materials. And where is the DNA found? In the chromosome. And where is the chromosome found? In the nucleus. So number one, the nucleus controls the entire activities of the cell. Number two, it houses the DNA which store the genetic material. The chromosome houses the DNA which store genetic materials. Now the nucleolus. The nucleolus is found inside the nucleus. But however, it has its own particular function. Its own function is that it produces ribosome. Ribosome. The nucleolus produces ribosome. So for A-level students, the ribosome is actually of three types. We have mRNA, we have rRNA, we have tRNA. We'll be talking about this. If you want me to talk about it, you can just drop a comment so I can know. So mRNA represents the messenger RNA, the tRNA represents the transfer RNA, the rRNA represents the ribosomal RNA. So the function of the nucleolus is that it produces the ribonucleic acid. Don't forget to, now I'm talking about RNA. DNA is different from RNA. RNA is ribonucleic acid. Its own function is to deal with protein. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Its own function is to deal with genetic material. DNA, genetic. RNA, protein. I hope you understand. So the nucleolus contain, it produces the RNA. Now the mitochondria, very, very important cell organelles. The function of the mitochondria is that it is the powerhouse of the cell. It is the power, it is the battery of the cell. No RNA, no mitochondria, the cell is down. So it means that the mitochondria is the power of the cell. A WAEC once asked that why is mitochondria refers to as the powerhouse of the cell? Very, very easy to say. Mitochondria is referred to as the powerhouse of the cell because it's the site. I'm asking the question, or that's a WAEC question. The question is that why is mitochondria referred to as the powerhouse of the cell? Simple. Mitochondria is referred to as the powerhouse of the cell because it is the site where respiration takes place and energy is being produced. It is the site of respiration. It means that all the breathing you are taking in and taking out is occurring in the mitochondria. So it's the site where the respiration takes place and energy is being produced. So we'll be talking about photosynthesis soon. We'll be talking about photosynthesis where we'll be talking about the meaning of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So energy in the cell is produced in form of ATP. So we also have ADP, which will later still be converted to ATP. So Golgi body apparatus, their own function is that it helps in synthesizing, packaging, and distribution of material within the cell. It helps in packaging, synthesizing, and distribution. Look at it. Packaging, synthesizing, PSD, packaging, synthesizing, and distribution of material within the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum, their own function is that they help in transportation of materials. They are different from endoplasmic. They are different from Golgi body apparatus. Those one only package, they will synthesize, that is, they will produce and they will distribute. But endoplasmic reticulum, they just only transport it. Cell membrane, I told you, is the first sac, is the first layer that covers the skin. The cell rather. What does it do? It's like something that covers it. So it allows the movement of material. It allows the selective absorption of material. That is, it's not every material that is allowed to move out of the cell. It is not any material that is allowed to come inside the cell. I hope you understand. So that's meaning of selective absorption. So selective absorption means that it is being selective in choosing what will enter and come out. So the cell membrane helps in selective absorption of material within and outside the cell. So the ribosome, got from the word ribonucleic acid, it helps in production of protein. Don't forget RNA, use protein, DNA, genetics. Chloroplast, it contains chlorophyll, which helps in photosynthesis. This large vacuoles, it is actually very big in plant and is mostly found in plants. The large vacuoles contain the cell sap. And what is the function of cell sap? The cell sap is a cavity in the plant cell, where materials are stored. So in a normal sense, or in a summary, the large vacuoles helps in osmoregulation. That is, it helps to release excess water from the cell. That is the function of the large vacuoles. It expels out excess water from the cell. So the last one is the cell wall. The function of the cell wall is that, is the fence that covers the cell. Don't forget, it is only found in the plant cell, it's not found in animal cell. The cell wall is definitely found outside the plant cell. So because it's found outside, it helps to give shape. As you all know, human has this shape because of skeleton. Plant cell has their shape because of cell wall. So it means that because plant cell contains cell wall, they will have a definite shape. Animal cell does not have definite shape because they don't have cell wall. So if I'm talking about the difference now, I will say that plant cell has definite shape, animal cell does not have definite shape. Why? It's because plant cell has cell wall, animal cell does not have cell wall. The cell wall of animal cell is made up of cellulose. Please note that. For those doing JAMB, you have to know that the cell wall of plants is made up of cellulose, while animal cell does not have cell. So their own cell wall is not made up of cellulose. So I'm talking about the nucleus, it controls all the activities of the cell. Nucleus produce RNA, mitochondria, the powers of the cell, Golgi body apparatus for packaging, synthesizing, and distribution of material, and the plasma reticulum for the transportation of material within the cell. Cell membrane allows the selective absorption and reabsorption of materials. Ribosome helps in production of protein. Lysosome. Please, lysosome is not found in plants, but rather is found in animals. What is the function of lysosome? Lysosome is also known as the killer. In fact, some textbooks will say that. Yeah, I can remember that as on the JAM question. They were like, which cell organelles is referred to as suicide bag? So lysosome is also called the suicide bag because why? It has the ability to kill every other cell organelles. Lysosome has the ability to kill every other cell organelles. So, and so on and so forth. So every cell organelles has their own time. They have lifespan. Like mitochondria, I think mitochondria use like 13 days before it is being destroyed by the lysosome. So the work of the lysosome, from the word lysosome, it comes from the word lysis. And what's the meaning of lysis? Lysis means breaking down. So the lysosome breaks down every other cell organism. It destroys every other cell organism. So the last one is centrose. Centrose helps in cell division. Cell division is the breaking down of cell so as to multiply. Is the biological multiplication of cell. So it could be mitosis or meiosis. So it is possible through the centralized. The last one is the chromosome. Chromosome is the cell organs that contain DNA. So chromosome is also found in the plant cell as well. So the function of the chromosome is that it takes place in the cell division. The function of centralized is also that it takes place in cell division. So chromosome also contain DNA. So it houses the DNA. Don't forget that the chromosome is found in the nucleus and the chromosome houses the DNA. So it means that the function of chromosome is, don't forget I said chromosome has the DNA, which store genetic material, and I said earlier that the nucleus also has the chromosome, which has the DNA and store genetic materials. So these are the functions of the cell organelles right from the plant to the animal. So the differences between plant and animal cell, they are quite many. For the plant cell, it has no cell, it has cell wall. Animal cell has no cell wall. Plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, but this one does not have, so its own cell wall is not made up of cellulose. So plant cell is larger, while animal cell is smaller. But however, plant cell is less dense, animal cell is denser. Another thing is that plant cell stores lipids as oil, animal cell stores lipids as fats. Um, a lot of differences. Plant cell has no lysosome, animal cell has lysosome. Plant cell has no centromeres and centralized. Animal cell has centromeres and centralized. Have you seen it? So it is actually very, very simple. So this is everything about cell and everything you need to know about cell right from beginning to the end. So the next topic I will be talking about the kingdom in biology. So there are 5 kingdoms. We have the kingdom Protista, the kingdom Monera, the kingdom Fungi, the kingdom Animalia, and the kingdom Plantae. So thanks for watching.